Seems like we're getting to be online, so yep. Welcome to the sound check portion, y'all. We're just getting stuff ready, and then we'll begin the stream proper here shortly. So if you guys are just making your way in, feel free to grab some snacks and get comfy. So we have some uppy dates to get through here. And hopefully the mic levels and everything are okay this time around. I made sure, yep, mic gain and everything is up where it should be. Because last time it was low, and I screwed that up. Also lowered the desktop audio as well, so that should be good. So let's get things rocking and rolling here, and we'll be good. So yeah. Or not that one, sorry. Do. Let's see, content, streams. Yep, this guy. I don't know why they do it like that. Okay, cool. So let's just go in and check. Yep. Automatic. Yeah, okay, that should be good. Alright, cool. Awesome. Cool. Now we'll check out to see and hear how the stream sounds. So hopefully the sound check portion and everything is good. Let's give it a listen real quick here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Dang thing is bugging out on me. I'll use my phone. See how that works out. See how we're faring here. Give it a listen real quick here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Dang things bugging out on me. I'll use my phone. Okay, sounds good. So, yeah. I'll just get the message out there, let everybody know. You boys out here streaming. We're going to be editing some new videos today. Just finished recording some update videos, just something pretty quick. And then afterwards, we're going to be working on some shorts and things. Where are we at? Not that one. Boop. Okay. Get that out there. I gotta open up Discord. It's actually easier to open Discord on my phone than it is on the computer these days. It's friggin' there's always like so many updates because I hardly ever use it on a regular basis anymore. So it's pretty insane. Like how many on the desktop, I mean. Sometimes I use it on my phone, but desktop it's always like update city, you know. That's for, who is that? That one, and that one as well. Last time it was live was a couple weeks ago, huh? Okay. What's the other one here? Oh. It's just one of those add-alls. Mm-hmm. This one? Oh, okay, yeah, it's just an everyone sort of deal. Because usually the notifications show up on here, but sometimes they don't. You just gotta be careful about those sorts of things. So, yeah, for all y'all just coming in, just make yourselves comfy, and we'll be getting going here shortly. So welcome to the soundcheck portion of the stream, if you will. And then we'll get cracking. I think yeah, it did. Yeah, okay. Alright, just checking that there's somebody. Yeah, I missed out on that message. Alrighty. Okay. Soundcheck portion. Alright. Sounds good so far, but as always, if oh, actually, hold on, let me check one more thing. There we go. Soundcheck portion. Back it up a little bit so I can hear. Yeah, it doesn't sound too loud, the background music. I don't think it sounds too loud. But I can always turn it down later. It's fine. But yeah, let's see here. Need to... Where are we? Oh, it's Butte. And... What's this one here? Okay. Alright, and then... What we'll do is copy these guys, and then this guy can go away. Just doing some folder restructuring on the cards. Because I noticed one of my cards is getting a little heavy with how much data is on there, so I have to do a little bit of late spring cleaning to get that going. I know some people are like, well, I erase my cards after every big shoot, and I know it's like kind of good general practice to be doing that, but I tend to forget sometimes, and yeah. And also, you know, it's nice to have like a backup in case something were to happen, like I lose the footage on my computer or something. You know, it's always good to have an extra backup somewhere, right? So that's basically what I've been doing. So we just gotta wait for this guy to finish up, and then we'll get to getting as far as that goes. Let me get this all prepped up as well. Where did I put it? Jeez. Welcome to the soundcheck portion, y'all. So, if you're just tuning in, get yourself something. Get yourself all cozy, snuggled up. Get your snacks, all that jazz, and we'll get cracking here shortly. So right now I'm just prepping the editor, and then we're gonna get going here. So I'm gonna use Premiere to edit these Yo, what's up, Twin Lamps? Let's get it, dude. I know, maybe some people may or may not know where that's from, but it's all good. It's all good, baby. So we're just doing a little cleaning, a little management here, and then we'll be getting going with the stream here in about a minute, actually. I'm just looking at some transfers and things. So once that's done, then... because how I have it set up is I have 2 monitors, right? But I'm also, whenever I deal with like SD cards, I use one of the slots for the SD cards, because I don't have a dedicated SD card slot on this laptop. So I have the little USB-C adapter, which is much faster anyway. And so I have to, just skip those guys in. So I have to basically unplug the USB-C slot, which is where my second monitor is plugged into. So I have to unplug my second monitor, basically, in order to use the SD cards. So if I'm transferring files or moving stuff around and whatnot, then, yeah. That's how I do. That's how we do, baby. So we'll just get rid of those guys. And then, that should clear up the card. Yeah. Oh yeah, the card looks way better now. But now I'll just move the other stuff later after the stream. So now that we're done with the cards here, let me go put these away. But yeah, basically here's what I'm working with. So we have this, I don't know if it's gonna focus or not, but it's an Anchor USB-C to SD card. It also does micro SD cards as well in the slot above, but I just use it for regular SD cards that I have. For my GH5 came with it, so I got this card and then this card, so it's 2 128 gigabyte cards. So these are really useful for like burst shooting as well. So if one of the cards, there's like a buffer or something like that, if the buffer gets full, then it automatically switches to the other card, so I can continue to burst shoot and not have to worry about the buffer as much. So that's nice. Anyway, I'm gonna put these away real quick. Oh, don't forget to plug in the other monitor. So basically how I have it set up is I also have a USB-C to HDMI converter little plug-in here, and I just plug that into the HDMI and then plug this in to the laptop, because it's the USB-C port, you see. And then for streaming, I just keep like OBS and stuff like that off to the side, and then I have my workspace in front of me here. So that's how I do. Anyway, let me put these away real quick. I guess you can a little bit. My jammies. What I'm rocking with today, guys. Oh, what am I doing? Jesus. See, one of the nice things, and I'll just show it to you now, but one of the nice things that I like about the GH5, or just Panasonic cameras in general, versus Sony cameras, at least the newer ones. The older Sony cameras could do this, but the newer ones don't. But basically they have the SD card reader on the grip, which I like because when I set this camera down into my case, I set it grip side up. So when I reach in to grab it, I just grab it from the grip and just burp, pull it out, and then just put it in. Burp, like that. And if I just need to get the SD cards, I can just go like that, grab the cards, there. With the Sony, it's on the other side. So I would either put it like this, and then if I try to grab it, it's like, hey, what the fuck is this? Which I never do that. It's always grip side up. So I'd have to grab it, pull it out of the thing, futz around with this little thing, get the thingy, put it off to the side, and then put it back in like that. And it's hella Mendokusai. So that's the thing I like about Panasonic cameras that they have over Sony cameras, at least the newer ones. Anyway, so just have that. And then we'll put the silver card in the secondary slot, and then the gold card in the first primary slot. Come on, guy. There we go. And just do it. Do it like this. And then also, the grip on this is really nice. Even years, decades after this camera was released, it still has a lot of nice little creature comforts. So yeah, this is a little behind the scenes, I guess, of my main setup. So it's a Panasonic GH5 original. It has a Panasonic 12-35 lens. I have two filters on it. The let's see here. The one on the bottom is, where's the thingy? Okay, so it's a Kenko Black Mist filter. It kind of gives you a nice little softness. So it's not like totally soft, but it does give a nice little softness and smoothness, especially. So it just, makes things look nice, not too sharp, And then the guy on the top is also a Kenko, but it's a variable ND filter. So you just slide this, especially when you're doing videos and you can't change the aperture or the shutter speed easily, or at least without, you seeing like the footage shake when you're like changing the dial, so chunk chunk chunk, or like chunk 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 in the back, depending on what you're adjusting. So just doing it from here is a little easier, and you still have full control over the camera, so you can just from there. And that's my main setup. Like all my vlogs and everything like that is done with this exact setup. And then for the telephoto stuff, I have an old Olympus lens that I repurposed. I had to get an adapter for it because I thought it was micro four thirds, but it was a 4/3 lens. So I had to get a 4/3 to micro 4/3 adapter, and that was the whole thing. But still, even with the adapter plus the lens, it was under Ichiman yen, or 10,000 yen. So that's about like $70 these days, because the yen has gone up a little bit in value. So used to be, $65, but now it's around like 68 to 70, give or take. Anyway, I'm gonna put this guy away. Okay, good stuff. So, now that we have second monitor up and ready to rock, let's go ahead and put the OBS off to the side here. Jesus, come on, guy. It wants to like try to do this minimize thing where it like fits in with all. There we go. Jesus. Okay. Please. There we go. Okay. Looks good. There we are. Now it's all docked onto that side, so if I need to like check things for that, it's it's there. So there we go. And make sure Premiere is set up as well. Let's make sure there's nothing funky going on here. Yeah. Okay. Window capture, props. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So if I do this, it's gonna be like that. And if I do that, it's like that. Okay. What if I switch scenes here? You got the Andy VTuber background. And nothing. Video capture? Yes. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Alright, switch it back. Okay. Maybe it's this one. Okay, now you have that, right? Video capture. Okay, here we go. Okay. And then, oh. Okay, so I had to change the settings from when I did the VTuber stuff. Okay, so boop, 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 boop. Okay, all right. Okay, enough futzing around here. So let's get it, dude. All right, so let's begin the stream proper. All right, and we're live, pal. Fuck. All right, we're live, pal. Once again, baby. So hey, Andy here, and today we're going to be editing some videos, some update videos, as well as some short form content as well. So with that said, let's get it, dude. And we'll switch over. So here we have the timeline of events here. This is in Premiere. This is a template that I put together. It even says my universal template up here. Well, yeah, you guys can't see that, can you? But anyway, the name of the project is my universal template. So I just use this for like everything basically, and then I have all my assets down here. So if I wanted to do like the Q&A in Japandi, here's a little question assets. So this is single line, that's double line. This is the edit with Andy end card. So these are the end cards for the different series that I do. So this is for edit with Andy for my tutorials. Then this one is for updates and things like that, life updates. Should probably change this picture. This is kind of old now. Then here is the one for Andy Japandi. Come on, load. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So this is the one for Andy Japandi right here. But yeah, let me go and. Oh, okay. Oh, so you can see that. Nice. All right. Oh, because it's display capture, not window capture. Got it. So if I do this. Okay. You right click. You can't see that, can you? I see. Shoka. Alright. So. Because even if I bring this up, yeah, you can't see that at all. Let me go grab some pictures from here. See if we can get a little something here. You created. Yeah, we'll do it that way, not modified. See if we can get a new end card image here. Because I have been using some other stuff in here. So let's get. That's kind of nice. I tried to get like more of like a scenic sort of thing. So maybe like, let me check this one out. That's a little too blurry. These are some of my early film shots from last year. Maybe we could do something like, ooh, this one's nice. But let's see if we can get a nice shot of either Enoshima or Mount Fuji. Let me check. This Enoshima shot's not too bad, but let's see with Fuji shot. It's not one of my better ones. I like this shot of the coast. It's really dope. Might just actually, I think we'll do this one. Yeah, this one looks good. I think we'll do that. So I'll drag this guy into the timeline here. You can see it. And then see if I have any summer ones, because that was shot in the winter, but still in summer for now. Nishihama Beach from, oh, those aren't even edited. Chigasaki at night. Oh, it's night. Doesn't look like night at all, but I kind of like this one. I don't have any of the finished ones of this for some reason. Alright, well, I think we'll just choose this one for now. Just call it at that. So, instead of the beach one, which I do like, but it is kind of old, we'll do this one of Mount Fuji. So, stretch that over. Because these are like indie life and video type deals. And then we'll go to effects. I have my little favorites tab here of all the effects that I use on a frequent basis. We'll drag the dip to black over here. Then we'll stretch that guy out a little bit. Okay. Just so it's lined up with the bottom one, so that way I know what tings go where, basically. So now for this, obviously it's way too freaking big, you see. So we gotta change the scale a bit. And it's a different aspect ratio as well, so can't do uniform scale, unfortunately. So 76. Don't know if I want to tighten. Nah, this is a little too much. So we'll do it about here, and then lift it here. There we go. Just actually, hold on. I got an idea. Do it like, come on. Yeah, just, I gotta get the freaking bottom. Come on, guy. Try to get like the guide so it's like straight. There we go, centered. Bam. Okay, get it like that. Then we change the width like this. Okay, a little bit there. Let me change the height like that, kind of. There we go. Then we up the. Okay, so bam. Good. Okay. Just like that. So it's nice and kind of level. Obviously, it's different aspect ratio because you can tell the mountain's a little different, but whatever. We'll if you do it like that, you can get it a little bit more even, but close enough. I'll get the idea. So we'll just use this as the end card for the Andy Life and Video one. And then Andy Japandy we're not doing today. Neither of these little cards here. And since I have this as a template saved elsewhere, I can just pull this up anytime. But for this video, we're doing one for Edit with Andy, and then we're doing one for Andy Life and Video. So that's the first one is Edit with Andy. And then the second one is Andy Life and Video. So we'll put the end cards in the proper spots. Come on. Oop, hold on. Right here. And we'll give them some space because we're going to... Oop. Too much space. There we go. God damn it. Scoot it over here. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do first... And we'll keep this adjustment layer, but we'll deal with it later. So we'll just put this over here for now. And now we're going to first sync these tracks. So we're going to edit this one first, obviously. But here is the internal camera audio, and here is the mic audio. So we're going to use the mic audio, but we use the camera audio to sync it. So if you notice... I did a whole tutorial on this on youtube.com/editwithandy on how to synchronize audio. Little plug for my shit. So basically, if you see these little spikes here, yep, I'm editing my own stuff today, and then later I'm going to be editing other people's stuff as well. So I have some stuff on deck for Eric Surf 6 as well as a buddy of mine, Kevin. He's got some stuff that he sent me recently that I want to getting and putting that together. Yeah, pretty much. So I literally just recorded this like before I got on stream, so I'm wearing the same shit basically. And then afterwards I like took the camera down and stuff, and here we are. So but yeah, anyway, so we have these spikes here, right? And so I do that because they're claps. So if you see on the camera audio, claps and snaps. Yeah, man, it's been really tough lately. Gotta be honest. Of things, it's another reason why I'm getting back into making my own content again. I should have talked about it a bit more with the Andy Life and Video update, but I just wanted to get the updates out there. So these will be coming out shortly. But yeah, let me just sync these up real quick. So you highlight both the tracks, right click, synchronize up here. Oh wait, could you guys see that? No, you can't. Display capture. There we go. There we go, now we got it. So you right click after you highlight these tracks, go to synchronize. I'll come up with this. So you can do it based on the clip start, clip end, time code if you want to, any sort of clip marker. Like if you put a marker here, it would sync it to that. Or you can do it by audio track, which is what I do. Typically, this is what I do, just the default here. More times than not, this is all you need. But if there's clips that are being a little persnickety, you can get a little particular in here. So I just have the claps in there because it helps the software figure out where it is. Hit OK. And through the power of movie magic, the tracks are synced. And if you notice, the claps are synced up here as well. So, yeah, good stuff. So, from there, all you got to do is, let me see, is this the start point?
Hey guys, Andy.
Okay. Maybe it's here.
Hey guys, Andy.
Okay. There.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I had a couple couple takes there. So is it here?
No, as I announced.
Okay, so here.
Hey guys.
Now we got that going. So back off a little bit, cut, and we're just basically gonna trim the ends off here. Okay, catch you later. Bye. Basically. Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, because that's the this is the edit with Andy, so I don't do the we'll see you next time. I don't do that whole thing with that channel. So we have the little cutoff here, and then delete those, and then from here we have the two tracks. Everything's all synced up. We separate the video and audio tracks. I have that on a hotkey, and then just highlight the audio track, make sure it's lined up. And then reattach. So if you just move this, it's synced in. So yeah. Then we'll just do the same thing with this one real quick as well. And then we'll get to audio editing. So you guys get to see like a full workflow of how I edit videos, because I do my other content like this as well. So not just my stuff, but for my commission stuff as well. This is how I do it. This is how we do it. So you sync it. But for stuff that doesn't have like mic audio, it would just be the in-camera track. So we'll just back this up just so I have some space, because you don't want to do it right on there, because you don't want to start there, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I always start at a neutral face and then all right, and we're recording. But for audio editing, I give myself a little bit of room. See, I'm just staring around, always looking down at what I see. Something like that. Then, trim the ends. Okay. And especially for the wave as well, because you can see the motion blur. Boop. And for the transition, I try to pick an area where my hand would be in focus, but we'll just kind of stretch that out until I look at the monitor. That's usually my go time signal. See, my eyes shifted a little. Okay, so we'll hit it here. Boop. Same thing. Because this is for the Andy Life in. So we'll separate, and then attach the mic audio. So now we have those lined up. We'll move the adjustment layer here because this is nothing, but it has the color correction stuff that we'll put over once this is done. So that's going to be one of the last steps, is color correction. But for the GH5, I don't really have to do much in color correction most of the time. So there's that. Drag that over there. This guy over here. Okay. Actually, these are a little too close. A little bit. All right. And then I also have over here audio track. So here I just have, for my stuff, I have just a basic hard limiter just to make sure if I talk too loud, it's not going to blow things out. So it's just a good way to keep the audio nice and balanced. But we're going to turn this off, and I'll show you why. Because we're going to export this to Audition. So once the clip is all keyed up here, we're going to export this to Audition. Now, had I left this on, this would be included with the exporting to Audition. So if you have stuff here in the audio track, because I have like some things like with Eric, I also have like a little bit of noise filtering as well lined up. But for my stuff, because I do all my shit in post, and this mic, the Shure MV7, is a fucking killer mic, I gotta say. Because it's so good, I just do all my editing in post, and the only thing I have here is the hard limit, just to make sure it doesn't go over the line. But anyway, we'll just turn that off, right click, edit in Audition. It's gonna render it, and then we're gonna move over to Audition once it's done, which doesn't take that long. So yeah, here we go. Here we go. And it just does it like that, which is nice. That is one of the nice things I do like about the Adobe suite, is that it's all connected through this thing called Dynamic Link. So stuff that you change here, once it's saved, will be reflected in the Premiere Pro project. Sometimes it takes a bit, but most of the time it works. Actually, it works. Anyway, no comment there. So we have the audio here, but it's very quiet. And that's for a reason. That's for the noise gating and things. Because I used to raise the audio and then do all this. But I have like a shit ton of presets here for all like the clients and stuff that I've worked with, as well as some other custom stuff here and there. It's just so much shit, basically. So we'll just do mine. This is the one I use for my stuff for the MV7. So Andy Clean Home Shure MV7 preset. That's the one I use. And then for Eric Mealtime, I use the double mic preset. When he used to use his GoPro, I had a separate preset for that because the EQ is a little different. But these days I just use double mic, and that's about it. What am I editing today? I'm editing some update videos. So I'm going to talk about the new schedule for videos coming out on this channel, as well as my Edit with Andy channel, because I ran a little experiment. I don't know if you guys noticed it this week. I ran a little experiment with short form content, and it was received very well. And so I want to continue to do that with the put out shorts and things like that. So I just wanted to make an announcement, just making it official, because I didn't announce it earlier. I just did it. I don't think anybody, was aware. So anyway, we'll switch over to this preset, which is my main preset for these little sit-down bleedy vlog type vids. And it has like all kinds of different things. So I'm not going to go through the whole, settings and things, but we'll just a quick rundown. So dynamics here, I basically have this set up as a noise gate. So if the audio is at a certain low level, it just cuts it out. All right. Are you teaching us as well, or just editing? A little bit of both. This isn't necessarily a tutorial per se, but I just kind of, it's more like a breakdown of how I edit usually. Obviously case by case depending on the videos, but this is just kind of a general breakdown of how I normally edit content. So first we're starting off with my stuff, and then we're going to be moving on to some stuff for my friend Eric from the Eric Surf 6 channel. So anyway, this is my main preset for my mic. So I have a noise gate here, a little bit of noise reduction there just to kind of get rid of some background stuff. Deverb, or de-reverb, I should say, gets rid of a lot of the echo. So if the mic is too far away and I tried to compress it to make the audio louder, you'll also hear a lot of room noise. And so this tackles a lot of that. You have your compressor, little EQ. These are just to kind of tweak and peak the EQ, basically, and to compress it a bit. De-esser gets rid of a lot of the sibilance and things. But the real secret sauce comes from speech volume leveler. So this raises speech volume and makes it more steady. So you can control the dynamic range of things. So it's another form of compression. Channel mixer basically just makes the audio tracks at the same level. And then hard limit sets a limit for how loud it's going to be at -6. So, or is it -0.1? I forget. I think it's -0.1. Never mind. And then later in the Premiere, it's set at -6. So anyway, so this is my main setup for this. Hit apply. And it should raise this audio because Adobe compared to DaVinci Resolve. Compared to Resolve, I would say there's a lot of similarities between Adobe and Resolve. When I first started using Resolve, you know, especially when it first started coming out as a program, it was similar to Premiere, but it wasn't until the last few updates to where it really started behaving like Premiere, which is good for me because I've been using Premiere for over a decade at this point. So it's a lot easier for me to get used to things. But there are some things that are, you know, native to the Resolve ecosystem that are a little different, like the node editing. I'm not super used to that workflow and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of, you know, getting used to those sorts of things. But I think the more I use Resolve, and and another reason why I'm doing these tutorials on Resolve is to kind of motivate me more to switching to Resolve as my main editor. But for commissioned work, just for now, I'm using Premiere and Audition for the audio end of things. Here, let's do a little before and after. I should have done this earlier, but do a little before and after. I don't know if you can hear it on here. Can you?
So, as you know,
Okay, so this is before.
for the past couple weeks now, I've been
This is the before, sorry.
uploading 2 new videos on how to work with DaVinci Resolve as your main video editing suite. And so far, the reception has been very positive. But
Okay. And then we're going to do the after.
at the same time, on my other channel, Andy Life and Video, I've been running a different experiment, namely with short form content. So I recently got commissioned for making some short form content, and before I started work on
Okay. So just to give you guys an idea of the changes that are involved with this. So let me reapply this. Sorry. I forgot to do the before and afters before I set the changes. So my bad. then how much time you need also, and also how much storage system. That's because with 2 Adobe software I have no storage. Well, I have 2 1 terabyte solid state drives on my laptop. So I'm able to run both Resolve and Premiere on them. I don't know exactly how much storage space they take, but you know, as long as you do basic storage management, you know, cleaning out old files, clearing out cache, things like that, it should be okay. Depending on your setup, of course, should be okay. But anyway, after we do the apply effects, then I go to favorites and then normalize it to negative 0.1 decibels to amplify it just a little bit.
For the past couple weeks now, I've been uploading.
So it's still where it needs to be. Save it. And we're gonna close. Go back to here. Oh, there we go.
I'm releasing 2 new videos a week covering the DaVinci Resolve editing suite.
Yep, and as you can hear, it's all changed over. So we're gonna do the same thing with this guy. I'm just gonna speed through it. I'm not gonna do explanations for these. We're just gonna speed through this one real quick, and then just get to reading some comments here. So, how much time you need to for like learning the software? It just depends. You know, like I have a bunch of other obligations and stuff I have to take care of, so I'm a little bit of a slow adopter, as it were. But I think, you know, if I really dedicated myself, I could really learn it in maybe a few weeks, or at least get it set up to a point to where I can get my workflow going, basically. But if you're just coming into DaVinci Resolve as, you know, you never edited anything before, you know, I think that it's much easier to do that versus if you're used to a program for so long, coming into a new work environment. I mean, hell, it took me forever to get used to how Premiere Pro works, because before that I was using Sony Vegas to edit my videos. I know, showing my age here, but that's the program that I used for the majority of my time on YouTube. But when I got out of the Navy and was going back to school, that's, you know, when I learned about the Adobe education discount, student discount. And that's when I figured, oh, well, you know, I'll just, because, you know, a lot of my projects used Adobe products anyway, with like Acrobat and things like that. So I figured I'll just get the subscription and learn Premiere, and here we are. So how much time to edit one video? Depends, really. Like these aren't going to take that much time at all. They're pretty straightforward. And then for like the short form content, those are usually much faster than like a full video, because with shorts you're basically making clips of things. So you're clipping out stuff that you think would be interesting to people, you know, and then checking the captions and stuff like that, because Premiere does have automatic captions that it inserts, but it's not perfect, and you have to go in there and edit the captions, because sometimes it thinks a word is something else, or like the spacing of words can get a little weird sometimes. Like if I say the word JVlogger, for example, I noticed in a recent short of mine I was putting together before this video, it separated the J at the end of like one caption and then started the other caption with vlogger, and it's like, you know, if you're reading it, you know, it's a little squicky, as it were. So anyway, now that we have both of these edited in Audition, ready to go, we'll turn the hard limiter maximum amplitude. I just have this set at -6, so it doesn't go beyond that, because I find that's a good volume for YouTube. It's not overwhelming.
Sure. main video editing suite, and so far the reception has been very positive. But at the same time, on my other channel, Andy Life and Video, I've been running a different experiment, namely with short form content.
So yeah, it just kind of limits it there. And then for like other stuff where I have to get like footage and things, like stuff that I do for my friend Kevin, which I'll be doing later, probably off stream though, because I have to really focus on that stuff. I have to lock in, as the kids say. But with that stuff, I also have to like, either get stock footage or do like if it's tutorial type content, which this stuff is that he's commissioned me for. Then I have to like get the capture for that stuff on OBS, and I can't do that while I'm streaming, so I have to do that one off stream. Sorry. So I have to capture whatever he's saying, how to do certain things, and do it like in real time. So it's basically how I make my YouTube tutorials. Is I'm like, hey guys, Andy here, and today we're gonna do this thing, and then I'm in Premiere. All right, so you just zoom in here, and then you do the thing, and then stuff like that. Yo, what up, Dequan? How's it going, bud? Yeah, the grind never stops, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. A little pun ghetto does, eh? So, in any event, so now that we have the audio and stuff edited, we have some little tricks of the trade to speed up some stuff. Because for me, I'm kind of a slow speaker, and I have like really long pauses and stuff like that. So to eliminate that quickly, it's not on here. Go to Window, Text. Because Adobe put out this text-based editor that's really interesting. So we'll just put that meow, and then go to Transcript, and we're going to uncheck these because these are the outro songs here, and then we're just going to have the audio tracks selected. So hit transcribe, and it's going to go through the audio here. And so even if you're not planning on using captions, because this is mostly used for captions, right? But even if you're not planning on using this for captions, you can use this for a lot of really redundant style editing. And I really sped up my workflow doing this tremendously. Just getting rid of a lot of basic cuts that you don't really have to think about. Let's see, how's the current job going? This month has been pretty good, actually. I had a break a couple weeks ago, and most of the office has been pretty chill. They've been going on breaks as well. The way it was set up, like it's kind of like because like there's summer holidays and you have like Obon and stuff like that. A lot of Japanese folks tend to go home for the holidays, and then foreign folks, they tend to go home as well for the holidays, see their friends back home during the summer. But obviously not everybody can leave at once. People have to be in the office, as it were, and dealing with customers and things. So they had these like tiered breaks. So it's like me and a couple other folks would take a break at this time, and then next week we'll be back, and then these other folks can go take their break for the week and things like that. So that's kind of how that's structured. And during that time, like, a lot of the big wigs and stuff aren't around, so it's just a lot easier to manage the day-to-day, as it were. And like I said, a lot of Japanese folks tend to go home for the holidays too, so most of the work and stuff is slowed down as well. But anyway, getting back to this, so you go up after everything's been transcribed, which I believe all of it has. Yes. Okay, great. So you can look through these, and you can edit these if you want, but I prefer to edit them in captions if you are going to put captions on. I'm not going to with these, but if you were, you do it that way. So anyway, after this is all said and done, you go up to this little hourglass here, And you have your search settings. So you check these, and you can check or uncheck certain things that it looks for. Yeah, I heard about the whole Tokyo Drew thing. We'll be getting into that here in a sec. Just let me finish this real quick. Just different things that the software looks for. So pauses is a big one that I look for. So for my stuff, I have it trimmed at 0.5 seconds for minimum pause length. Because otherwise it's just too long. And you can make it shorter if you want, but if it's shorter than this, then it gets a little too jittery, you know. So I have it at 0.5 for my stuff, and then 3.5 for other people's stuffs. So anyway, now that's all good to go. Hit save. Go to your hourglass again. Go to filler words, which is determined by the algorithm. It's usually like uhs or ums or, you know, stuff like that. It's usually you know, stuff like that. It tends to get those. So we'll just hit delete. And oh, actually, before we do that, zoom out so you guys can see the difference here. So we'll move these a little closer. A little bit closer now. So you guys can see how much of a difference this makes. So this is the before I've done any sort of real editing. And it's detected 12 filler words for both of these tracks combined. So we'll hit delete all. And it'll delete all the little filler words. So it'll save us some time. And then go back, go to pauses. It's about 42 pauses. And we'll do the same thing. And there you go. So that gets rid of a lot of the long pauses and things. So it'll be a tighter edit, and I don't have to go in and like edit out all the pauses and stuff, because that, oh Jesus, that shit took me forever to do all that. Now it's just done. So one nice thing about AI, I guess. So that's one way to do that. And then we'll go to effects, and we'll just keep this up for later. But
Hey guys.
so yeah, with this, because sometimes you do want to put the pauses in, so we'll move this track out a little bit and give it just a little bit of a pause. We'll just kind of, I usually do it like the frame, because I do want a neutral frame to start off with. So we'll chug forward to about here.
Hey guys.
Yeah, it looks good. Because you don't want it to start like here, because like, or here, it's all like confusing. But anyway, so we'll do that. Select the blank, and that moves the track and everything to the front. Quick save. Let's check the comments here. So, yeah, Rip Tokyo Drew. You should make a tribute video for him someday as an old school J-vlogger. I really should, even though I'm like hella late to the party for that. I had a not the best view on old Tokyo Drew, yeah, that rhymed, when he was around, because looking back at it, I believe my perception of him was largely skewed by other people's views on him, because like at the time I thought he just had like a real like hater type audience, and so I just felt like if I were to like reach out to him or talk to him or mention him or something like that, it would bring that sort of community to my channel, similar to what happened with me and Tikio Sam, you know, where I feel like if I just kept mentioning him and kept talking about him, it would bring this sort of like hater community to my channel, which is something I didn't really want. It's not something I'm interested in. So I just kind of wrote Drew off as, you know, someone who's getting hate on, you know, like a lol cow, basically. So I just kind of wrote him off as that. But, you know, after he passed, I looked through his content and stuff, and I realized, you know what? This guy's consistent, dedicated, even to making videos and stuff, and he seemed like a pretty nice guy. You know, he's definitely one of those, he was one of those long-term expats who've, been around here a minute. And, with those types of folks, they have a certain way of going about things, a certain behavior that kind of rubs a lot of people the wrong way. A lot of them are pretty old school with their thinking. They're very rigid with things. They're not, in the know about certain cultural norms changing in the Western world. Pretty much their viewpoints on things have been locked into whenever they left for Japan. And so I felt like he kind of had that sort of bit to him, for better or worse. But yeah, he just seemed like really dedicated to his fans and even his haters and stuff like that. So I feel bad I never really like reached out to him and like talked with him about anything, even just offline. Because he did seem like a generally good guy, just a little rough around the edges. But yeah, that's my regret in dealing with Tokyo Drew. Never really reached out to him or anything. But yeah, I might put out like a tribute video or something later. I know he died this year. Maybe next year we'll do like an anniversary tribute, and I can talk a bit more about this in better detail. I'm a bit better prepared to talk about it, like I did with the Roger Swan stuff, basically. I have more time to think about it. Although, speaking of Swan, I was going to do a 15-year anniversary, because this year what marks 15 years since he passed. But at the time, I was really busy with work, and the date slipped past me. I was like, fuck. I forgot about that. So I'm a little pissed off at myself for forgetting that death anniversary, if you will. But I did put together the Roger Swan Tribute channel, by the way. If you look it up, youtube.com/Roger Swan Tribute. It has all of his old videos up there. I did that not only to update them in 4K, but to also, at the time, Google was doing this thing where they were thinking about like deleting inactive accounts. So if you haven't like logged into your Gmail or uploaded a video on YouTube or something like that, it would delete your account after a certain amount of time. So, yeah, I mean, Roger's been dead for a decade and a half at this point. So, and his folks aren't logging into his account to like check on things either. So I was a little worried. Oh shit, we're gonna lose all his videos and stuff, man. Like, what's gonna happen? So I, uploaded them onto a separate channel. Did a little bit of updating, just upscaling the videos and stuff like that. Maybe tweaking the sound a little bit, just to keep the volume consistent and stuff like that. And that way, if something happens to his channel, God forbid, there's a place where you can still watch his videos. So that was what I put together for that. Let's see here. Tokyo Drew hung in there and got better. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, it would be kind of nice to do looking back at old J-vloggers and stuff like that in more detail, because a lot of these newer folks don't really know anything about the old school J-vloggers. Even Victor, Give Me a Flake Man, Give Me a Break Man, even though he's still active, he's nowhere near as culturally relevant as he was back in the day. Like, back in the day, man, that dude was the nexus of J-vlogging, the godfather of J-vlogging, if you will. And so, like, everybody who's anybody was talking with him. And then, Hiko Simon was right there next to him as well, and they were the centerpieces of the J-vlog community, bringing people together. And I did like that, how the J-vlog community was initially, just because it just felt like, anybody could talk to anybody. There was no, classes, no like ceilings or anything like that. You know, like it didn't matter if you had 100 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers or whatever. Like everybody talked with everybody, and that was the thing I liked about the scene. I mean, yeah, you had drama and stuff, but like whatever, you know, just the kind of the flat nature of the scene at the time was what I really liked about it. Is that you could talk to someone with like way more subscribers than you, and they would respond, and it'd just be like fucking awesome, you know, because they're just normal people at the end of the day. But then, you know, culture changed with YouTubing as well as J-vlogging, and a lot of infighting and drama and shit like that killed the community as it was. And now it's all these little separate pockets of things. And also, you know, just J-vlogging in general is pretty much dead because there's so many like micro niches to the J-vlogging niche. So it's not enough to just, oh, I'm talking about Japan. You know, you have like Japanese style influencers and, you know, Japanese food influencers and all this other stuff. So it's different now than it was back then, just because the culture of YouTube has changed so much. But, you know, I still do miss the good old days where you could just talk to anybody and there was no, you know, pretense or anything like that, clout chasing or none of that, you know. But yeah, J-vlogging's kind of dead now. It's just degen streamers. Yeah, you get a lot of these fucking streamers coming in here, both local, but mostly tourists. Let's face it, they just come over here for like a week or two, cause a bunch of havoc, and then fuck off. So there's that. And even the ones that are sticking around, it's just, you know, streaming content. As someone who streams occasionally, compared to those guys anyway. And this is why, you know, I don't think I'll be, you know, a streamer necessarily. Like I do stream, but I don't think I could really dedicate myself to streaming consistently, just because I have like so much other shit going on. And I'm just more comfortable making edited videos versus doing these off the cuff streams, as far as consistently doing them, because there's just some days I don't want to be in front of the camera. I just want to sit here and work on videos rather than be in one as talking live, because we're live, pal. So anyway,
Hey guys, Andy here, and today I have a schedule update for the upcoming video tutorials. Now, as I announced earlier,
oh shit, too fast.
The upcoming video tutorials. Now, as I announced earlier, I'm going to be releasing.
Okay, so yeah, I fucked that up.
Now.
I say now here or no?
Now, as I announced.
Okay, I did. So.
Video tutorials.
Yep. I'll just cut this part.
Now, as I announced earlier, I'm tutorials. Now, as I
it clicks kind of
video tutorials. Now, as I announced earlier, I'm releasing 2 new videos a week covering the DaVinci Resolve editing suite, and so far, the videos have been doing really well. Actually, let's just start over. Hold on. Hey guys.
Oh, god damn it. Did I really just do a full, like, fuck this take? God damn. Okay, so now I have to do all this shit. So I'll back this up. I thought I had gotten the first take, but... So we'll just cut it here and then...
Hey guys.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the edit with Andy one is... I had a lot more takes because I wasn't quite... I hadn't gotten warmed up yet. This one's going to be pretty easy, though. That's for Andy Life and Video. So by that point, I already had my shit memorized and stuff. So anyway.
Hey guys, Andy here, and today I have a bit of a schedule update to share with y'all. So as you know, for the past couple weeks now, I've been uploading 2 new videos on how to work with DaVinci Resolve as your main video editing suite. and so far the reception has been very positive. But at the same time, on my other channel, Andy Life and Video,
Hey, it's this
I'm
one.
running a different experiment, namely with short form content. So,
Rid of the namely part.
A different experiment with short form content. So I recently got commissioned for making some short form content, and before I started work on my commission stuff, I wanted to just kind of test the waters with some of my own content, because it's been a while since I made short form content. So I wanted to kind of get the pacing down, get the captions in the right spot, make them legible without being too big, just little things like that, just to make sure the paid content does well. So I pulled 3 videos from the archives of my own channel just to get some practice time in, and after they were done,
Get rid of this and
from the archives of my own channel just to get some practice time.
actually no, it's important to say that.
Archives of my own channel just to get some practice time in. After they were done, decided to upload them on that channel, just to see how they were doing, and not waste any effort. Upload them on that channel, just to see how they were doing, and not waste. Upload them. See how they were doing, and not waste any effort. Upload them, not waste any effort, if you will. And to my surprise, those videos did extremely well. I got hundreds and even thousands of views from those shorts, and that prompted me to make even more shorts from some of my back catalog. And those videos continued to do really well, raking in hundreds, namely, but in some cases thousands of new views. And I also saw an uptick in my subscribers for that channel as well, and just a lot of comments, engagement, things like that as well. And I gotta say, I'm really curious of comments, engagement, things like that. I gotta say, I'm really curious, and I gotta say the shorts. And I gotta say, the shorts form, and I gotta say, the shorts algorithm has things like that. And I gotta say, the shorts algorithm has really been favoring that channel as of late. And so I'm gonna continue to do shorts on that channel. And so I'm gonna continue to make shorts. I'm gonna continue to do shorts on that channel. And so I'm going to continue to favoring that channel as of late. And so, that channel. And so I'm going to continue to make shorts for that channel. Now, what does that mean for this channel?
Okay, I need a slightly longer pause for this one.
For that channel. Now, what does that mean for this channel? So, what that means is I'm going to change up the schedule a little bit, because I want to see how the shorts algorithm favors this channel. And so I'm going to be changing the schedule up a bit. So instead of 2 new DaVinci Resolve, I'm going to be changing the schedule.
Actually, yeah, that's fine. Just keep that here. Hey, give your idea come down to Sean's fall for piss up. Yeah, bro. No worries. Thanks for stopping by there, Declan. Cheers to ya.
Algorithm favors this channel. And so I'm going to be changing the schedule up a bit. So instead of 2 new DaVinci Resolve tutorials a week, I'm going to reduce that to 1 a week, and instead replace the other tutorial with 4 shorts from back catalog. So that's mainly...
Okay, gotta increase this one just a skoosh.
Back catalog. So that's mainly Premiere Pro tutorials, but I have covered other types of software as well. So we're gonna be pushing those out starting this coming week. So be on the lookout for that coming on the feed very soon, and I'm very excited to see how the Shorts algorithm favors this channel moving forward. And from there, we'll adjust the schedule as needed. So we'll adjust the schedule as needed. So we'll adjust the schedule as needed. So with that said,
actually, hold on, I think it was
moving forward, we're going to be uploading excited to see how the Shorts algorithm favors this channel moving forward. And from there, we'll adjust this favors this channel moving forward this coming week. So be on the lookout for that coming on the feed very soon, and I'm very excited to see. Be on the lookout for that coming on the feed very soon. Adjust the schedule as... So yeah, moving forward, that coming on the feed very soon. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So be on the lookout for that. And with that said, this is Andy, sign out for now.
actually,
Premiere Pro tutorials, but I have covered other types of software as well. So we're gonna be pushing those out starting this coming week. So be on the lookout for that coming on the feed very soon. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So be on the lookout for that.
let me see here. Alright. Then what we're going to do, drag this down, up, because this is the end card. For this one,
For that coming on the feed very soon. So yeah, moving forward.
Jesus, that's loud. Sure, let's do hard limit. Let's see, negative 20 to negative 20. Try this one out.
Soon. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial.
25.
Very soon. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week starting this coming week. So be on the lookout this coming week.
Let's get rid of these.
This coming week. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading.
Nice. So we'll drag this to here. So it'll be like a...
This coming week. So yeah, moving forward, we're...
D. Yeah, the transition.
Week. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So be on the lookout for that.
Actually, I think with this, we'll change this to like 20. 20. Because I was gonna raise the volume, but it like gets gonna shorten it later, so that's fine.
This coming week. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So be on the lookout for that. And that said, this is Andy, signing out for now. As always, see you next time.
Okay, and this we'll do here. So we get the transition.
Coming week. So yeah, moving.
Oop. Maybe we'll just
This coming week. So yeah, moving forward. Coming week.
Okay. Oh, shit. And then we'll just slide this guy over, down, and resolve here, and just one here for the hell of it.
Out starting this coming week. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to be uploading 4 shorts a week and 1 new DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So be on the lookout for that. And that said, this is Andy, signing out for now. As always, see you next time. Bye, guys.
Nice. Okay, so that's the Edit with Andy version. It's much shorter. Let's see. And now that we have that done, what we're going to do, we're going to drag this layer here. Align it here. Get rid of the dip to black. So I don't need it for this one. It'll just be
coming week. So yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure that transition's good. So now, sure, teeth are in there. Okay. All right. So what I typically do is I try to get one where I see my teeth. Go to the adjustment layer here, and this is just for some basic color correction. It's nothing super ethereal. So we have that, and basically just try to the GH5 has more of like a natural warmness to it. So try to cool it down a bit, but you don't want to go too far, you see. So we'll just do like a -15, and then the tint a little on the green side. See, that's some connection issues. All right, cool. So yeah, sorry if I missed any comments. The stream had a little bit of a moment. But it seems like we're okay now, so cool. Anyway, so if you missed it, I basically just did a little bit of light color correction, made it a bit cooler temperature-wise, and then up the tint a little bit just to get rid of some of the greenness. But obviously, it depends on where I'm at. Like if I'm outside and there's a lot of greenery around, we'll lean more into the green. But since we're inside, I generally go for a slightly cooler environment. But not too cool to where my skin looks clammy. So we'll kind of get to that. So here's the, before. You can see the background's like very warm looking. Then turn it on. It's much cooler looking. Stuff like that. So this is basically what I adjust. If I need to adjust exposure or something like that, we can take it from there. But this, generally speaking, I feel pretty okay with this. It's just a update video
editing suite, and so far the reception has been very positive. But
You know, some people, they like to do what's called crushing the blacks here, which you can do a lot easier with Panasonic cameras for like shadows and things. But I find if you do it too much, see, it's like that. So I prefer a bit of a flatter look, if you will. So something like that, or maybe like that a little bit. But even then, you start getting to like these weird, looks like I have like paint on my shirt and stuff. So we can tweak and peek it from there. But yo, Kiryu, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. So yeah, this is the Edit with Andy video that's going to be coming down the pike soon. We'll just keep this for later. And now we're going to edit the Andy Life and Video one. So just making a couple update videos, talking about stuff and things, as it were. And we're just going to get rocking and rolling.
And we're recording.
Okay, then we'll just... Zoop. So I'm just going to... There. A little bit of space here.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, and welcome to another lickety vlog. So, figuring out what to do with my hands, fingers, whatever. Lickety vlog. Figuring out what to do with my hands, fingers, whatever. Anyway, so I have some wonderful news to share with you all. But if you've been following the channel for a while, you kind of know what this is about, right? So, earlier this month...
Okay, get rid of that. Let me see here.
Right? Earlier this month...
Okay, good. Yeah, I needed a little bit of extra pause on that one. Got a creative spark going at the moment. Nice, man. Glad the job ain't grinding you down too hard. Yeah, thankfully, the workload this month, because everybody's going on summer vacation, is pretty light. I fear that's going to change in the coming months, though. But if you... This is why I'm, like, prepping for a lot of this stuff now. So that way, it's easier for me to maintain my schedule. So that's another reason. And I should have mentioned it on here, but that's another reason why I'm making these update videos. So basically, for those of you just tuning in, making these update videos to share with everybody that I'm going to be moving more into short form content than I am longer form content. So I did an experiment on this channel this week, and this will all be laid out in the update videos. So if you miss this stream, it's all good. But the basic gist of it is that the reason I'm moving more into short form content is that it's easier to edit. I can be much more consistent with it because I'm just pulling from the back catalog for now. And then the type of content that I want to be making will also favor being converted into short form content just for exposure and consistent viewership, which hopefully the idea is that it's going to lead into more views for the longer form content. So the shorts will be the one that like brings in the people, and then the long form content is what's gonna help them stay and watch and learn stuff. And even if they don't, you know, they're still watching the shorts. So either way, you know, but preferably have them watch the long form content. But that's the strategery anyway with that. And it just allows me to make content more consistently for things. And the shorts have been very widely received so far. Like I've gotten hundreds and some cases thousands of new views per short. So I was very surprised at the reception for those videos, because I made the first three that I made were just as practice, basically, for some commissioned work that I got. So I got commissioned for some short form content, and I just wanted some practice on other stuff before I started really getting into the commissioned stuff, just kind of get me used to things. And worked on 3 of my old videos just to kind of get a feel for it again. Once the videos were done, I just rendered them and put them up on my channel, just, you know, so you guys would have something and just kind of see how they would do in the algorithm. And holy shit, man, that really surprised me. You know, it's not just views for views, but also like comments and stuff like that is just massive. So I was like, oh shit, okay, I guess I should be doing this a little more often, right? And it's much easier to manage, because that's the main reason I haven't been making content on any of my channels for the longest time, is that I felt like it was just too hard for me to manage, you know. And plus I would be so, you know, particular about things, because I figured, you know, there's such a long stretch of time in between videos that, you know, I figured if I were to come back, it'd have to be like a fucking banger to like show people, yeah, I'm not just farting around in the background, you know, even though I'm doing like a bunch of other behind the scenes stuff rather than make my own videos. But with the shorts, it's a lot less pressure. It's just, you know, pulling from content that I've already made and stuff. And then if I were to make content that is easier to turn into shorts, then it'll make my job a lot easier in being consistent with making content. Because that's also key for me too. It's not just to bring in viewership for my longer videos, but also just for me to be more consistent with making content. Because that's been the hard part. Because like I'd get on these kicks of like making a bunch of videos and then I'd, you know, stop for a while. So I'm just, you know, right now I got that creative spark, as Kitty says, and I want to have that continue with my motivation and things. And so short form content's just an easy way to do that. And that's what these update videos are letting y'all know, that, hey, did a little experiment, didn't tell anybody, it went pretty well, and I want to continue doing it. That's the TLDR. Anyway, let's continue.
About, right? Earlier this month, I got picked up for some shorts form video work, and it's been a while since I worked on any sort of short form content. So before I started working on the commission stuff,
actually, let's
shorts form video work, and it's been a while since I worked on any sort of short form content. So before I started working on the commission stuff, I decided to get some practice in. So I pulled a couple of videos from the archives just to get the pacing and the captions in the right spot and all that stuff, just kind of get that down before I started working on the other stuff. And then after that, I had before I started working on the other stuff. After that, I had 3 shorts. So instead of just leaving them there after they were done, I decided to upload them to this channel.
Okay, we should probably add a little bit of space here.
Shorts. So instead of
A little too much.
shorts. So instead of just leaving them there after they were done, I decided to upload them to this channel. And I wasn't really expecting much of anything, really. I figured it would just be some fun new content for y'all to enjoy and just, you know, keep it at that, basically. But a funny thing happened in the shorts algorithm, and that is y'all showed up and showed out, basically. So I got a lot of viewership and a lot of comments and engagement and everything from those videos, and I'm extremely surprised and excited to see that from the shorts. To see that from the shorts. And to see that from the shorts. And so after I saw that from the initial batch of shorts, I decided to pull some other stuff from the back catalog and just kind of see how those fared. And they all did really well. Some better than others, of course, but generally speaking, I got, you know, several hundreds to thousands of new views, and also saw a pretty significant bump in subscribers. and also saw a pretty bump in
I wouldn't say significant. That's
saw a bump in subscribers as well, so I'm very excited about that. And so moving forward, I'm going to be continuing to make shorts for this channel. For how long, I'm not entirely sure, but
okay. That's a little too much. A little too fast there. Oop.
make shorts for this channel. For how long, I'm not entirely sure, but I do want to make shorts more of a regular on this channel, so just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
And also, I'm incorporating shorts into my video editing channel. So just be on the lookout for that. And
okay, we'll get
also,
rid of that.
I'm more of a regular on this channel, so on this channel. And also, I'm incorporating shorts.
Yeah, it's everybody calls it something different, right? So YouTube it's shorts, you know, with Instagram it's reels, TikTok it's just TikTok videos, whatever. Sprayed my shorts. As long as you're spray trooping, it's all good.
On this channel. Also, I'm incorporating shorts into my video editing channel, Edit with Andy.
And we'll give this one a little more space.
On this channel. Also, I'm
Yeah, hold on.
on this channel. Also, I'm incorporating shorts into my video editing channel, Edit with Andy. So instead of doing 2 new videos on Picture Resolve a week, I'm going to be reducing that to 1 and then making 4 shorts a week for that channel, just to kind of get it off the ground and get things moving, hopefully, in the shorts algorithm, and hopefully that will lead to viewership for the long form videos. At least that's the plan, anyway. And I've seen some mixed results in doing that. I've seen some people favoring the short, some people I've seen
Okay, get that. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, you know, some people can take a joke and others, well, can't. So, just kind of was what it was. But yeah, the fact that it upset him so badly was just crazy.
seen some mixed results in doing that. I've seen some people favoring the shorts more than the long form videos, and I've also seen some crossover between the shorts into the long form videos. So for now, this is just a fun little experiment just to kind of see how things go, and just another way to get my content out there, basically. So yeah, pretty out there. So yeah, pretty stoked about that, actually. And I guess, you know, or we can probably just cut it off here. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to
Where is it here?
out there. So
Okay. So we just cut that last little nonsense off.
out there. And so that's pretty much all.
And it's a little too long of a pause there.
Then out there. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to say for today. And with that said, this is Andy. Signing for now. As always, forever. We'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Okay, definitely gotta. Hold on. We gotta bring that shit back.
Guys, bye.
There. So always make sure that the last frame is one where the hand is, there's no motion blur, so it's usually on the up, but sometimes it's down like that. It's either there or it's there, either way. So we got that going, which is good. And then Got this, drag it over. And then we'll copy this adjustment layer, which is the color correction. And since I used the same setup and everything, I don't have to change anything. It's just there, right? So copy that. And we're not gonna, you know, mix it up or nothing, so we'll just tack this on here. Slap the added resolve guy here. Oh, oops. Actually, hold on. Then we're going to let me go out here, maybe.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.
There we go. And then that's going to be that. Okay. Stretch this over here.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.
There we go. Actually, that's a little soon there.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Oops. Transition. Here we go. Move it.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Nice. Okay. So we got that going, which is nice. Okay. So now we have all this stuff lined up for the update videos, which is good. Let's see, how long have we been on for? A little over an hour and a half. So, thinking, because I haven't eaten lunch yet. I'm starting to feel hungry, and I don't want to wait too long, because then it's getting into like supper time. So I think go ahead, switch scenes. No, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I think we'll end things here for the time being, but be on the lookout for new update videos coming soon to this channel, as well as my Edit with Andy channel. So if you're catching this in the live stream, you know, I'll give you the quick down and dirty for the updates here, but if you don't, the videos are coming soon. But basically, I'm going to be utilizing short form content a lot more moving forward, because it's just easier for me to make and easier for me to be consistent as somebody on YouTube. And it's just a good way to get my stuff that I've already made out to a new audience. So yes, it is using old videos and stuff like that, but again, it's, you know, they're cut up in a way to where it's short form, it's a different angle on things, and it's a different algorithm basically versus the long form videos. And plus it'll give a chance for people who may have missed out on the initial video to look at it again, maybe check out the long form video if you want. And I'm also going to be making content that's a bit more geared towards shorts, optimized, if you will. Yeah, take care, bro. Good seeing you on here, as always. But I'm going to be making content on here that's going to be more optimized for shorts. So, like, you know, Q&As, Andy Japandies, stuff like that. And I'm just going to format it in a way to where it's easier for me to, okay, cut this clip out and use that for a short, things like that. And then for the video editing tutorials, they're already pretty well lined up to be converted into shorts quite easily. At least the newer ones. Some of the early ones might be a little tricky, but for the most part, I think I can cut those up into shorts as well. So we're going to be utilizing shorts on that channel as well. So moving forward for this, yeah, take care, bro. Good seeing you on here. We're going to be utilizing a lot more short form content. We're going to be doing 4 shorts and 1 regular tutorial on the editing channel. And then we're going to be continuing to put out shorts on this channel. I'm going to try to keep the daily streak going, but we'll see. At least for this month, I'm going to try to keep the daily streak going. Even before I started this video, I put together 2 new shorts coming up here. So if I don't post a short, it's because, you know, there's going to be a regular video as well. So I don't want to post a short and a regular video at the same day, because that kind of fucks with the viewership as well. But on days where I'm not posting regular videos, there'll be shorts. At least that's the idea for the time being. And just, you know, see if that's a, you know, sustainable schedule for me, because I want to make content on a more consistent basis, and I'm trying to find ways for me to do that. And the shorts seems to be a way for me to do that, and the reception has been very positive so far. So I'm really excited about that. And if anything were to change, then I'll be sure to make an announcement video covering that. But for now, guys, with that said, this is Andy, signing off for now. And as always, and forever, we'll see you next time. Get you there, guys. Bye.